What's that?
There you
We're live, live.
Yeah, I can see that, Mike. Don't worry. There's a little light
Have to
thing
keep it
here in the
right.
top left-hand corner of my screen. I can see
You're
it.
on the
Don't
just because you're on
worry.
the Healy Ray fucking Wi-Fi. You know, I
Internet.
have to be, keeping you right.
Right. Anyway, lads and ladies, welcome to tonight's show of Mauls, Balls, and all the breakdown. Tonight it is just an all Munster crew. We have,
Was it all right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we are all Munster, aren't you, Mike? You're from Tip, is it? Or
I
are
am
you?
indeed. I am indeed.
You're not renouncing your Tipperariness now, a week before the final, are you?
Oh no, I'm just keeping very quiet now, very stum.
Might get to plug in for tickets quick.
Oh yeah, if any tickets going out there, lads, I know it's. I'd gladly take one, or two.
Yeah, Matt, pity we can't be with us tonight. We were going to cover the Kerry Tyrone game. We'd love to have your input on it, so if you can just come to it that when it comes up. Of course,
I think that comment is something similar to what you will get.
yeah, I'll probably get a lot worse, I'd say, in the background now in the group chat later. Of course, we've Len Brennan here with us as well, anyway, and of course, Richard Hans as well.
Evening all.
How are you doing?
And of course, Gregor Galway. Oh, Jesus, sorry. Gregor Galway in there as well, in evening to you as well, Gregor.
Evening,
Lads,
Gregor.
we'll start with last Wednesday, I suppose. And geez, lads, we might start with this one now.
Do we have to?
We might as well start, get the shite out of the way and see if it gets better. Mike, I'll come to you first in this one. New Zealand under 20s, 69. By the way, Darren, yeah, that's Darren Skiggity, straight out of the bat. Done. That's good, nice. New Zealand under 20, 69, Ireland 22. Mike, you didn't see that game or anything, did you?
I did. For my sins. And Jesus, by the way, I endured it. That's all I can say. Do you know something? We started off really well. We got 2 tries. Oisin Minogue was a bit of a breath of fresh air. Very skillful, playing at 7.
Yeah.
Kicked the ball through for himself and scored a try in the corner early doors. And then he made a great break for the second try as well, which was scored by, Jesus, I can't remember who scored it, to tell you the truth.
Green.
Yeah, right, okay. And then the wheels came off. Well, we actually scored a penalty. They got a try, and then we scored a penalty. And from the kickoff, we were fucking, all our players were looking at each other, man. It was embarrassing, really. And nobody to take the ball. And from then on, we just completely fell apart. Like, it was fucking free fall.
Yeah.
And it was. And we even with New Zealand went down to 14, and then came back up to 15, and the Ireland scrum half got bent for 10 minutes, and lads, it was really, really poor. And
there was a red card on that right at the end as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was, and I thought it was an absolutely shocking decision, to be honest with you. He was as low as he was fucking nearly on the ground. Like, there was a clash, but there was serious mitigation, I thought, anyway, and I thought it was never a red card. I thought it was, he went in, like, and there was no wrap, and he cut the guy with his shoulder on the head. And he couldn't be any lower, though. But
yeah,
it was given as a red card anyway. I thought it was a harsh decision. But we were really poor, lads. I'll be honest, I was in one way, and it's a terrible thing to say, it was actually a relief that we got fucking beat, because going into the next round of that competition would be a meeting fucking somebody outside South Africa. We get fucking eaten alive.
Yeah. We were actually playing Scotland today as well, Mike.
So, did we play today?
Yeah.
They lost that as well.
Did we lose that?
Yeah, 21, 22.
21.
I didn't even know it was on. No, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I could endure watching it again. I didn't know it was on, though.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it again as well myself, anyway.
What was the score on
that?
21,
Scotland,
22.
Yeah, Ireland. Yeah, Scotland won that one by a point.
Shows how far we've fallen, lads. Shows how far we've fallen in 1 year. 20s level. No, it's a completely different team from last year, but there are some players.
Yeah, Bev Anne Marie is been here saying, when watching Minogue, it's like watching his uncle when he's starting out.
And
Who's
he's
the uncle?
Axel's. He's Axel's nephew, is he?
Oh,
Yeah,
he's a Foley, so to
Yeah.
speak.
yeah,
Fabulous player, but he's got pace, power. He's a skillful player. He looks the real deal. Yeah.
yeah.
Like me in my prime then, yeah.
Yeah. I would say
Lightering
so,
on the wing.
Richard. Yeah.
Lightering on the wing, you know.
The only reason you're lightering on the wing is because you want to make sure you get into the bar first. That's the only reason you're lightering on the wing,
I know
Richard.
the touchline was there, so I collapsed over when I was done.
Just ye props, you're all the same, by the way.
Yeah. Just a good evening as well to El Willoughby. Len, did you see the Ireland New Zealand game at all from during the 20s?
No, I was busy, but I dipped in and out. I got little bits of it.
Yeah.
I saw actually the two Irish tries actually, which were well taken. First, I just thought they're a good New Zealand team. I didn't, as I say, I only just saw scraps of it, to be quite honest with you. But we were discussing last week about Doak and is he the man for the job?
No.
You'd have to start asking questions now at this stage. Like, we know it's cyclical and the players change under 20s rapidly, but there's talent in that team there, and he doesn't seem to be getting the best out of it. So yeah, look, I didn't see enough of it to make a judgment on the overall performance, but Mike saw it there and he just said it was poor. So yeah, we seem to be going backwards at pace, and then a loss to Scotland then this evening. You know,
This is we could beat Scotland fucking always. Well, for the last 20 fucking years anyway. At any level.
Underage, certainly, yeah. And underage, definitely. We always seem to have it again. But look.
Yeah, we're going backwards at a rate of knots, to be honest with you. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, because like there's a few people saying there that the under-20s we have are just as good, if not better, than what we had under Richie Murphy.
There you go.
I
haven't seen evidence of that now from their performances over the last year. So
yeah,
until we do, you can't make that kind of claim now. Whether they have potential, there's no doubt about that. But
there's a couple of lads there. The likes of that young Minogue chap and Tom Wood has come on a lot this year. I think he's really started to develop. But
and this is
when we started the Six Nations, at the start of the Six Nations, like we played against Scotland, our backs were flying.
Yeah.
And then everything just went fucking pear-shaped from then.
You know where it was going on, yeah.
Yeah.
So
shape completely.
As we've said before, rugby is a confidence game. If you're down, it's hard to find that performance.
Oh, that's true.
Richard, you didn't see any of the under-20s game between New Zealand and Ireland, did you?
Only bits and pieces of it in between trying to skive off work. I was on nights, so.
I tell you what,
hiding from your supervisor.
I was the supervisor hiding from you.
You don't have a supervisor, Richard.
I don't really get paid either. It's more of an appearance fee.
You appear to work. You start to work and you get the appearance. You pay for that.
No, I just get paid to clock in and clock out. Whatever happens in the meantime.
That'll do.
If everything was that easy, I suppose that's. Lads, I suppose we'll move on, and Richard, I'll come to you on this one. Lions 36, Brumbies 24. You didn't see any of that game, did you?
I did. I've seen most of that. It was a little bit more complete, as I think we said, that there is definite signs that the team are starting to gel. In particular, I think the pack is looking tight. The pack is looking right and tight there now. There's definitely hope for them going forward. The backs, I don't know. Even going on to the match that was on Saturday with Van der Merwe getting the hat trick, there's still no way I'd have him anywhere near a test side.
Yeah,
it's he doesn't have brilliant ball in hand. Don't get me wrong, he's absolutely electric with ball in hand, but the man couldn't tackle a fish stopper. So but I did see it a little bit more complete. Todd Hansen was good. I thought he played quite well. He did play in that game. And no, look, it was a more complete performance, but there's still work to do.
Yeah. Do you think Farrell will keep his usual back three of maybe Hanson, Lowe, and Keenan? If they all say fit for the test series.
Oh,
Well, Keenan has got to start now anyway.
Yeah, well, Keenan with injuries and Kinghorn been injured. I think Kinghorn would have been pushing there. I'll be honest with you, but there's no way Van der Merwe should be anywhere near the test side. But given with the injury profiles and everything that's going on there now, I think he probably will go with the 3 Irish lads at the back.
Yeah, considering
if nothing else, they know the system, they know the Farrell system, and they know each other. They nearly read each other's mind.
Yeah, but that's the important thing about Joe when you're playing in a position like that. Joe, you have to kind of know what Larry is going to do more or less before he does it.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of cases, particularly at Leinster, you will see Keenan and Lowe, they'll switch. They do an awful lot, especially if they're wanting to launch a left peg. Keenan will move out to the wing and Lowe will move in, and he'll put in the big spiral. Yeah.
Just a comment there from Burke before I come on to you. That is it the under 20s team or 40-minute team, which is not acceptable at this level.
That's a fair point.
That's a fair point, and they're scarcely even that now.
Yeah. Dara here says it's the Munster Mafia. Let's keep it rugby, lads. No Brosnan talking about Kerry or Reedy looking for tickets. Bit late in that, Dara.
You missed that one, Dara.
You promised anyway, Weston, you did.
Yeah.
You missed the giggity.
Yeah, we should have to come back to that now. But Dara, since you have your attention now, then I'll come to you. Kerry versus Tyrone. What do you think of that?
Get a fucking stroke, will you stop?
No, but I'd love your opinion there on the Lions Brumbies game from Wednesday. Did you see any of that?
I didn't see it. Fucking listen, these fucking 11 o'clock Wednesday morning, the middle of the fucking week games. No, didn't see it. I saw the result. No, I saw the Saturday one, okay. But no, I didn't see the Wednesday game, to be honest with you.
I'll come back to you on Saturday.
I get like Matt Boland now. No, I didn't see it.
Mike, you didn't see any of the Lions Brumbies game, did you?
You're actually right about that, Danny. And I very rarely miss games, but I'm afraid I had to work as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake, lads.
Some of us, I've only just started back working after 14 months, for fuck's sake. I can't be skiving already. So I missed that game, I'm afraid. And I read about it and I saw the comments, but I think it was a kind of it was close to a test team for the Lions.
I would say 7 or 8 players that started that game will be starting in the first test.
I'd say more than that, to tell you the truth.
Well, and you can take the other bunch from who played that invitational side. Between that, your test side is going to be there in them 30 players.
Yeah.
Mike, I'll come back to you on this one since you said you saw the game. Lions 48, the invitational side nil. What do you make of that?
Well, first and foremost, the invitational side were absolutely pathetic. It was as weak a side as I've ever seen against the Lions, if I'm honest. Yeah. And it shouldn't be that way because most of them are seasoned internationals, between Australia and New Zealand. I mean, Fritzell was playing for the All Blacks a year or two ago, and there's a few of them. But the Lions were very, very good. They were accurate. They were physical. I thought some players had really stood up. I thought Mac Hansen did for starters. I thought Mac Hansen was outstanding, by the way, and he's really give Andy Farrell something to think about now. It's the right wing is between him and Freeman. There's no question about it, and whichever one he picks, and he could go with. He could go with, and I think we're going to end up with a Scottish centres because I don't think he'll split it. I don't think he'll split them. I think if Ringrose hadn't been injured, there could have been a chance. There are people thinking that Aki could start with Hugh Jones. By the way, there's a case to be made for that now. But I think it might be.
that Scottish 12 was fucking brilliant, and has been good. So I think he's
Pilato,
definitely in the running.
he's a fabulous player. But I thought Hugh Jones was brilliant in the game, though. In fairness, the English Ben Earl at 8 was absolutely outstanding. I mean, Tyke Byrne had an awful lot better game playing as a lock. He's never a fucking 6, lads. I have said it for a long time. I'm never happy when he's playing at 6. Do you know something? If they gave him the 6 short to start on Saturday, I'd be happy. But I'd prefer to see him in the Boiler House. You know, I think he's a lot more effective player.
At 4 or 5, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I thought Cummins played well when he came on. He came on for James Ryan had his best game in a long, long time. He's definitely he's kind of the forgotten man, and he's not going to be in the Test 23. I don't think in any of the games. I thought Marcus Smith came on. Finn Smith had he had a kind of an okay game, but nothing. But the Scottish scrum half, by the way, Ben, or what's his name, Ben White. I thought he had a smashing game, by the way. I thought he had a really, really good game. And
which is good as well, Joe, because like if anything happens at Gibson Park, at least we have a decent scrum half to come on.
Yeah. And Hugo Keenan was back to his best, by the way. He fucking looked as if he's proven he was ill. He was ill in that last game. He shouldn't have even been fucking playing, but they had to play him. He had to play it because if he didn't, he may as well fucking have gone home. So
apparently he lost 6 kilos with the dog he had.
Yes,
gastroenteritis
or something.
Yeah,
but he was flying. He was brilliant under high ball. Now that's something where I think Mac Hansen, by the way, has a chance to get the Test place on the right wing over Freeman. He's a lot better defender. Like our defense wasn't called into question against this Anzac team because I mean, fucking what's his name? Doohan, the fucking fish stopper tackler. He like two balls that fucking going over his head. He has no judgment of a high ball coming like under a high ball, none at all. And he's brilliant going forward, but Christ, give him any bad defending to do it all. Like, I mean, he's lost. He's all at sea. And he scored a hat trick, lads, and he'd probably get a 6 out of 10 for his performance in the game.
Yeah, we don't fuck all else. Going forward, he was grand. Yeah. High ball, anything in behind him, out of fucking position, can't fucking tackle. You know what I mean? It's Jesus Christ. Everybody looks good if you hand him a fucking nice handy pass.
Well, that's like.
Well, that was it.
He ran in 3 tries unopposed. He had nobody to beat for the 3 tries he scored.
No. They were fucking walk-ins, basically.
No,
he got 3 tries, and every other aspect of his game was fucking poor.
Yeah,
but he wasn't mentioned.
Mac Hansen for his work rate alone could.
The ground that Hansen covered on the wing was unreal. He's up and down that fucking pitch like a blue-ass fly, right? Van Merver just sits there, waits for a nice handy pass. Like, he never comes in off his wing. Ever.
No.
You know what I mean? He sits out there on the wing. He never comes in and looks for
Danny.
Well,
Danny, where are
Danny
you?
Gone.
Danny Grant.
We'll just have to talk away amongst ourselves.
He's gone for biscuits. No, but like he never comes in off his wing looking for work. You know, he's a lazy. He's in fucking soccer terms. He's what do you call him?
A goal hanger.
No, what do you call him? Fucking goal sitter or whatever, just fucking hanging around the edge of the box waiting for a fucking captain kind of job, whatever it is they call him, right? And that's what he is. Like, he just doesn't have the work rate, to be honest. And I'm delighted, absolutely thrilled that Darcy Graham has got a call. So now you have an option now on the wing with Darcy Graham, a decent winger. So Hairspray can fuck off and sit the test out, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion. I'm sorry, Mike, I interrupted you there. Go ahead.
What was the nickname they had for the 6 players that got called in? It wasn't called the Suitcase 6 or what the fuck were they called?
No idea.
They got called into the tour of I
Oh,
don't
that
even
was
know
the
where.
Welsh. The
Yeah,
Welsh
yeah. He
happened to be
picked
down.
they picked these guys that nobody'd ever fucking heard of before, and they're all Lions all of a sudden. None of them got a test game.
Oh,
I was just reading though, every Lions player, do you see that? Regardless of whether they play or not, it's shared profits, 100 grand a piece. So I wouldn't mind getting I wouldn't mind getting a call up.
Yeah, come out with
The
Ireland for
players
that.
are getting 100 grand each.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was a report that they're
And I think there's also a case that the club that they play for are getting 100 grand as well, or something like that as well, isn't it?
really is on top of that. I didn't read that
Yeah,
now.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Um,
I'd say Vander Hairspray could live with it now if he's sitting on the bench. He's up 100 grand in his arse pocket either way.
Yeah.
well,
And good comment by James Grant saying the Anzacs plays individuals, not as a team. Would you actually agree with that, Len? From what you saw of it?
Yeah, well, at the actual game, yeah, they were just absolutely dire, right? Like we had some fucking terrible results. Lads, like the under-20s get hammered by New Zealand, right? Good New Zealand team. We had the Irish team on the summer tour put up a massive score in Portugal, and I'm quite honest with you. When it comes to the Lions, I'm actually getting slightly bored of these, 48-0 fucking wins. I can't wait for the actual test to start, and I fucking hopefully Schmidt has them prepared to the hilt and a decent competitive game because they're actually getting boring now. I know they're only warm-up matches, training games, and that's an invitational. So I'm really looking forward to an actual proper competitive game with these fucking
success.
yeah. Yeah, they did play like individuals. They were absolutely dire. From the Lions' point of view, there were some good performances. I wouldn't say Keenan was back to his best because Keenan is excellent, but he has recovered form, and it was great to see it. And yeah, he's played himself into contention for with Kinghorn as well. There's a worry there, so I reckon Keenan may start on Saturday. Hopefully, he does. What else could you take from it? Yeah, Ben Earl was very, very good at 8. Farrell, like we were on here.
Hey, Farrell came on.
Yeah, like we were talking about. Like I initially thought it wasn't a good look for Andy Farrell to bring him in. I was kind of going, oh, for fuck's sake, like, you know what I mean? And we have 2 good centre pairings there. He's essentially supposedly covered for the centre. So you have Ringrose and Aki, you have Jones and Tuipulotu. So Bogetti brought him in. Turns out he was kind of vindicated. He came in, he played well. He fucking done it.
It was a lovely
that
thing
rub
through
for
the top on
Pollock's
the
try
train.
was absolutely fantastic. Now, right, it was farcical defending between the 2 boys at the back. But Pollock done well. Actually, initially I didn't think it was actually a try, but Pollock actually done very well to get his hand down in between your man's mitts and touch it down. But so look, he has been vindicated, and to be quite honest with you, the probably only poor point of that performance was the fact that Finn Smith and Marcus Smith were both poor off the tee. I was always thinking, going, fucking send up one Farrell and let him take the fucking kicks, because there's another thing. Like, he is a good kicker off the tee. Yeah. So, you have that element. I can see, like, I don't think Marcus Smith is not a good 10. And Marcus Smith is certainly not a fullback.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well,
so I don't.
Len, in what you said there about him being there as a 12, I think he's fucking there. I think he's there as a cover 10 in case anything fucking.
I do too. Yeah, like they're making it.
I think there's concern now, having seen Finn Smith and Marcus Smith both playing at 10 and neither of them being distinguished performances.
Yeah.
So I think he's like Farrell is probably concerned, thinking, fucking hell, lads, we could come up short here. If anything happens, fucking Finn Russell.
Yeah. He's allegedly, but I mean that doesn't maybe it's not to fucking knock, say, the likes of Marcus Smith's confidence that Joe here he's bringing over his son and there's my fucking place gone. But like I cannot see him. Like I'll be honest with you, he hasn't played an awful lot of rugby on Farrell. Oh, but geez, he didn't look like it on Saturday. He looked like a guy running.
Yeah, he hit the ground running.
He hit the ground running.
It's difficult to judge though, because the opposition were so poor. It's difficult.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were shite. Let's be honest, they're absolutely shite. But
there's a good comment from Gregor Galway. He said, "Hasn't Hugh Jones been playing at 15? He's played there for Quins. George Marcus Smith isn't good enough." for the 15 yard
I have that.
and Kinghorn
That's
as well.
another option.
Yeah, so I suppose there's a bit of versatility in that there. But you were saying then before I interrupted you, and apologies.
No, you're fine. Well, like
Yeah.
Osborne has been brought out as cover as well.
Yeah.
Now, I know Osborne can play 15. He can play the wing. He can play 12. But again, he's essentially been brought out as a centre. So now we're up to 6 centres. So I can't
no
see.
fullbacks. No, he's
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm
He's there
saying.
as fullback cover.
There's. I
There's
don't
no
think
question
Farrell
he's
has
there.
been brought
He's there
out as
12
cover.
as fullback cover.
Yeah.
I think so. You know what I mean? And like Osborne is actually a good fullback. You know what I
He's
mean?
a very good fullback.
Yeah, he's an excellent, and he's just as good as a winger as well.
He played the 2 tests against South Africa last year at fullback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did,
was
yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
Like he's a utility back in all fairness to him. He's the centre. He's a great player. He deserves a call up. Like and then we have a whole new front row going out there as well. You know, we have who have we got? Clarkson and Tighthead. We have
Ashman.
Ashman
and
Jamie George. And
Yeah.
Sunderland at Loosehead. So we've a whole new front row.
You and Ashman.
2 hookers. Loosehead a tight head. Osborne.
Yeah.
And Darcy Graham's gone out. And we Farley's there. So look, he's plenty of cover. So
Yeah, Peter saying there as well, gents, all these new call-ups are simply to protect the actual test squad.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, the players are going out there and they'll only get the midweek game, and they probably know that themselves going out.
I wouldn't. To be honest with you, I wouldn't say Owen Farrell's gone out there now as cover. Allegedly he's gone out of cover, but I'd like to see the odds on Paddy Power on whether he makes it.
He won't
make a test match.
He won't play. He won't. I don't think he'll play in the first test.
Maybe.
Would you of the three games? I reckon Owen Farrell will feature in one of them.
He could do.
Yeah.
He could do.
You could be.
And I don't think it's going to be at centre either. To be quite barring an injury. I think what we were saying earlier, he'll be on the bench.
That's covered for Finn Russell.
Yeah. Well, look, I tell you,
to be fair to Finn Russell, he's playing well.
Oh, Finn Russell is a good player.
Like, in fairness, Finn Smith is not actually bad either. And defensive, he's a good defensive 10.
He was brilliant. That is the one thing that he did Saturday, by the way, was his. I think he had the highest tackle score of anybody in the pitch.
Boy, I didn't see the stats now, but he fucking hit everything.
Yeah, and for a fucking 10 to have that, it's not what you want, to be honest with you. It's not what you don't want your fucking 10 to be making the most tackles during the course of the game.
Yeah, but if they have to make a tackle, you'd like to be able to do it.
Oh no, absolutely. It needs to be able to, but not fucking making 20 tackles in a game. Yeah. Like you have your fucking 6s and 7s for that. They should be protecting him.
Yeah, they should have. Well, the only thing, as I say, both Smiths were weak off the tee.
Yeah.
You know, in a tighter game against Australia, you may need to be kicking your points. Well, look, without doubt, Russell is going to probably start all 3 tests at 10.
I think Andy Farrell will be hoping Russell starts and finishes every fucking game, if I'm honest.
As I'm saying, I reckon, barring injury, I think he will start all 3 tests.
Hey. Peter up there again. If Andy plays a 5-3 bench, Owen could feature off the bench at 22 in test 2 or 3.
Maybe,
right on that. Yeah.
Richard, I'll come to you on the Australia-New Zealand game versus Lions. What do you see of it and what do you make of it?
I did see it and I was disappointed at the invitation team. Now, I did read that they had only 2.5 training sessions effectively before the game, and most of that was in the bar.
I think they met in the airport bar, and that's probably that's as close they got to a pitch.
Look, but they just, as someone put, it was James Grennan. They played as individuals. They didn't play as a team. That all the moves were off, and it nearly would have been better if they had been playing a Barbarians team.
Yeah,
that would have been the ideal team for the Barbarians. In all fairness, wouldn't it, Richard?
Yeah. But Look, again, coming on even from the Brumbies game, there was improvements in the Lions setup. Their line out is really starting to fire. You can see it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little nuances, little runs that are going on. Now, they don't always come off, but there's a lot of little runs coming off balls
Yeah.
now and everything. You know, it's good to see, and it does show that they're starting to mesh. But yeah, look, Keenan was good, as you said. Ben Earl, he's going to be knocking on the door for the 8th shirt.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think he could be in the 23, but I'm not so sure he'll get the 8 shirt.
Tyburn, as you said, he's a better second row than a 6. So whether he goes with, I told you it's going to be start, so it's going to be either him or McCarthy. That's what's going to happen there, I think. So I told you, being the captain, you're going to go with your captain.
Yeah. I'll come to you on this one, Richard. Between those two games, do you think Farrell has more or less narrowed down his 23 for the first?
He's there. I think there was a couple of players maybe there in that match that needed to maybe put their hand up, and I think they did. But yeah, no, I'd say actually after the Brumbies game, he had probably 12 of them positions nailed in. He knew what he was going to do. Yeah. And it was just a couple of other lads, a couple of stragglers or whatever you want to put it.
Yeah. Len, do you think Farrell has his 23 more than starts for the first test now after those two games?
Yeah.
That's what you need to have.
Yeah, but it's fucking on a couple of days.
There's nothing else to fucking see now, barring injury.
Yeah. Look, barring injuries. Look, I reckon Farrell probably had it in his head long before even the fucking warm-up game. Actually, just going back on to the games, I was saying that these fucking trashings of teams is not great. Probably the Saturday's game was good. It was entertaining, and they looked like they were starting to click. There was, that fucking famous word, cohesion. But they did look a lot more cohesive, and the line-out and what have you was working, and it was going well. But probably one of the most entertaining games was the game they lost against Argentina. That was a decent, that was a decent test match.
That was a test match.
Yeah, that was a test match. It was a good game. So I am looking forward to just getting some proper games and get rid of this Mickey Mouse shite that we're doing.
Yeah. Now, Peter here as well is saying, Jen, surely he told you he has to be third choice on the tour. Yes, he's captain, so by default he starts, but he's not first or second choice doc for me.
Yeah,
he's right in what he's saying, but unfortunately,
he's going to start, lads. There's no point in kidding
fortunately
ourselves
or unfortunately, he's captain, and that's the end of the.
I'll say, in fairness to him, he hasn't been that fucking bad, lads. He hasn't been blatantly, outrageously bad. He had a very good game against Queensland Reds. He had a really, really good game in that.
Yeah, he wasn't bad on Saturday. In fairness, he wasn't bad.
The Argentinian game, he was poor.
He was poor against Argentina. Now I will say that, but you know something, has any other lock put their hand up apart from Joe McCarthy, like in any game, to take his place? I don't think so. So I think he starts. He hasn't been outrageously bad. He's not doing enough though. He should be doing more. He can do more.
Especially as captain. You lead from the front.
Yeah. I think he might even be more effective if he wasn't the fucking captain. You know that? I think he might be more effective as a player.
If he wasn't the captain, he'd be fucking dropped.
Well,
there are certain players who play better when they don't have the extra workload of having a captaincy with them. And I'm going to say it now, James Ryan is one of them. James Ryan plays better when he doesn't have the pressure of the captaincy on him.
Yeah. I mean, you look at some players and the captaincy roles suited them. Like Caelan Doris doesn't seem to be faced too much by it.
Paul O'Connell.
Yeah. Took it like.
Look, if Doris only for Doris' injury, Doris would have been captain. I don't think there's any two ways.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt on that one.
Just that's an interesting situation now, because would Jack Conan ever have gone on the tour if Doris had been fit? Would he have taken two Irish eights?
That's a good question.
I don't think he would have. I'd say Bernard would still have gone on that line tour.
And he's the starting 8 for me anyway. Jack Conan is starting 8, no question for me.
Yeah, but like, to be honest with you, Joe, I'd say like everything, Farrell had his limitations on how many Irish players he could get into
Yeah.
the squad. So, to be near Doris or Conan, if Doris felt it would have been Doris that would have gotten the call, and Conan had been on the backup list.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But lads, we'll move
But
on.
then we had the argument over Clarkson being called up.
Yeah,
But like,
but that,
in fairness, I honestly think Clarkson deserved the call up. He's had an excellent season. He's going only his cover. You know what I mean? I just think, fucking look who else. Hayes doesn't know them. Andy Farrell doesn't know them. He hasn't coached them, and he doesn't know Farrell's system. Whereas Clarkson would be the closest thing to it. So it's a toss up between the two. I think Clarkson. Who else? It just, to me, it makes perfect fucking sense to call up Clarkson.
Absolutely.
And especially, we're not overburdened with options at tight head across the four nations, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, but for Clark, he's still a young boy, Clarkson, so it's good exposure for him to be even on the tour.
I think it's great.
To be able to absorb everything that's there, you know. You have different points of view coming in from different countries, you know, you have the Scottish point of view and, you know, the Welsh, the English. He'll learn from all this.
Jeez, lads, who would have said a year ago that the Ireland would have supplied 3 fucking tight head props for the fucking Lions tour, huh?
Yeah.
You know,
and they're still, and all still
and
there. Like, it's not as if one of them has come home injured or anything like that. There's fucking 3 of them are there now.
Well, he must deserve to go 4 months from men or agreeing with it.
I think he's a fabulous fucking tight head.
He is. He's excellent.
The thing about it, they have Porter, who at a push can play tight head as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's a good point there by Peter. Perspective for those outraged by the Clarkson call-up. The choices between Clarkson and Hayes, realistically, there is no other tight head option. Farrell knows Clarkson and what he can do, so that probably got him over the line. No conspiracy theories, just an obvious choice under circumstances. And that's any coach, nationally, internationally, or John United, they will nearly always go for a player that they know what they can do and player that will suit their systems better. If it's a toss-up, so it's going to happen. That put yourselves in their shoes, pick your own team, and then kind of say, these are why I picked them. And you probably find
I have never seen Joe Hayes play.
Yeah. No, to be honest,
you might never have seen him play fucking live, physically playing. So he mightn't have. So I think you're right. I think he's gone with Clarkson because he knows exactly why he's got to get.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
And he actually knows that he's a really good player. He's going to be solid. He's solid in the scrum. He's fucking
good in the loose as well, though.
Well, he is. He scored a good try Saturday, didn't he? At the end.
And like, in all fairness, lads, he's only a young fella. And like, tight heads, loose heads, they tend to mature a bit later than the rest of them. You know what I mean? They only come into their own slightly later. So this guy is very fucking mature. He's playing as a very mature player for his age. Like, he only has, he's only something like about 60 caps for Leinster.
Something like that, yeah.
That's all he has. And he plays well above that level. Like, you know what I mean? He looks like he's there for fucking years.
Yeah.
Why is he about 23 or 4? Is he 23?
23 or 4,
yeah.
He's a fantastic tight head.
Imagine what's going to be like another 3 years.
That's true. But lads, we'll move on anyway. Len, I'll come to you this one first. 16 try Ireland beat Portugal 106 points nil. Record amount of tries, record amount of conversions.
Danny, hang on a sec. Portugal got a try.
Yeah,
Portugal got a try. Record amount of record winning margin, record amount of tries, and record amount of conversions in one match.
Yeah, all kind of records broken, Danny, and it was an absolute complete fucking farce, right, from start to finish. And like we're talking about 48-0 with the Lions against an invitational squad, right? We're talking about the under-20s getting absolutely hammered. At least they scored 21 points, right? I made a crack on the group. Like, it was, number one, the camera feed was absolutely fucking terrible, right? It was dire.
What was the guy on his phone?
It was fucking. Then the TMO and the ref lost communications, so comms
there was
were
no
gone.
TMO,
no comms with the TMO, right? Poorly attended. There was a fucking car park at the end, and there's just people fucking wandering around. The majority of the crowd seemed to be wearing Irish jerseys. Now, you had the Georgians calling for a long time to be brought into the Six Nations, right? They're not at that level, right? But credit to where it's due to the Georgians. There was so much interest in the game that they had to move the game to a bigger stadium. Right? That was last week, right? It was packed out. It was a spectacle, and he put up they were beaten in the end, right? But they gave a decent. Look, it was evident that they're not at that level of Tier 1 nations, but they gave a decent account of themselves on the night. Portugal, I think, done themselves no favors. Now, I was looking, read comments by Simon Mannix, their head coach.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know a huge amount about Simon Mannix. I remember him from when he was a backs coach with Munster under Rob Penny, right? And he was a decent enough backs coach at the time. They had our backline firing pretty well. But he more or less said in a post-match interview that he was disappointed in how the night turned out. And that's the biggest fucking understatement ever. He was disappointed, 106-7, and he was disappointed, right? And then he made the excuse that there was lads away at weddings and on holidays, and then they had only 7 days for a pair.
Yeah.
Georgia took the fucking thing seriously. It was a big deal for them to host Ireland, right? Portugal didn't give a fuck bollocks. If you were hosting Ireland and you have aspirations to improve as a rugby nation, and you are letting your best players off to weddings and on holidays, and you're giving yourself 6 days to fucking prepare, you're not taking it seriously. And then you lose, as I say, comms between the ref and the TMO, and it's a shite crowd there. Now, I made the crack that you'd have to feel sorry for the Portuguese. It's hard to do a Mexican wave with 14 people in the crowd. And I kind of got a comment back to say that I was being disrespectful to Portugal. But on the evidence of what we watched, on the evidence of watching, it was only a fucking a jibe, right? On the evidence of what we watched the other night, in my opinion, Portugal and the Portuguese rugby union were disrespectful to Ireland because they didn't take it seriously. And I think I've read it since then that Sam Mannix is kind of pushing the whole thing back on the Portuguese union, that they're not. He was brought in. I had to Google where he was. I remember being at PEL and them getting promotion top 14 in the first season under him. But I had to look up Google, see what he's done since. And he was with Singapore. Now, my knowledge of Singapore and rugby, I know a lot of shit. Not much in Singaporean rugby, right? But yeah, he kind of left out there a bit of a cloud, but it didn't help because he was trying to build this more or less an amateur side under COVID. So he is now with Portugal, and he's trying to build up and promote the game in there, and it doesn't seem to be fucking working. I don't know if it's the Portuguese Rugby Union or it's Mannix, but either way, we learned absolutely nothing from that game. As you say, all records were broken, but what did we learn? Absolutely nothing.
Sonia spoke in here as well. I said, what benefit was that to either side? Humiliation for Portugal, fake all challenges and learning for our boys. Only use was bloody new players on an international stage.
Yeah, what? Blood 6 new caps, but that was.
Yeah.
That's a bit. Yeah.
Oh, and she said 6 points for her first try as well.
Oh, the scoreboard was wrong most of it.
Yeah.
They did rectify
Yeah,
that.
he did. That was another thing I commented. Yeah, they didn't even get the scoreboard right. Crowley it was 59 points. Crowley got a conversion, and it went to 6. You know what I mean? Obviously, I reckon the guy that fucking was doing the scoreboard actually never attended a rugby match in his life. Eventually, it was updated. Somebody must have told him that you got 2 points for a conversion. When they got the penalty try at the end, he chalked up 5 instead of 7. He didn't obviously realise the penalty try was 7. So, it was a fucking farce. That's all I can say about it. And look, it was great to see the lads get a run out, a few new caps and what have you. But as I say, learn nothing from it. I reckon there was a double-edged sword. I reckon the guys at the end of the night, it's the end of the season, they can all go off and have a few beers and enjoy it, right? Out in the sunshine. And they broke records. So they'll be happy on that end. But on the flip side of it, you couldn't really a new cap, you couldn't judge anything by it. So any new cap there, or I'm part of a record-winning game, but you couldn't say, well, geez, that guy held his hand up, because it was just nonsense from start to finish.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
End of rant. Go on, ask somebody else a question.
Dave Evans, see here, last time the biggest winning margin record was broken, 8 of them weren't even born yet, and some probably even weren't even thought of it. Yeah, the last biggest winning margin we had, I think, was against the States in 2000. And it's
83 or something like that.
Yeah. He says, but Peter, but sure, didn't he have IRFU on the scoreboard instead of IRE?
You're right on that.
Yeah. They said the fact that Portugal had like 14 players go away after the World Cup as well is bad. So the other, I suppose, maybe there is a bit of a change on the squad. That factor. Richard, your thoughts on the Ireland Portugal game?
Yeah, look, neither team learned nothing from that, except the 6 players that got caps. That's all that you can take out of that game, because from the first whistle, that game was over. Now, we were never going to lose to. That was never a choice. I mean, I was out having a pint and I was watching it, and the biggest cheer in the pub was when Portugal scored their try.
Yeah,
literally, you know.
But and that was 50 females.
Now, don't get me wrong. If the IRFU are World Rugby and they want to grow the game, and this is how you do it, you bring Tier 1 nations to Portugal, to Georgia. That's how they grew the game in Argentina originally. You know, but that it was a nothing game. You know, it made absolutely no sense going down there. You know, even again, if there had been a double header against Georgia, it probably would have been better. You know,
would have been better.
A two test match against Georgia would probably.
Well, that's only because, like, better. In fairness, like, it was unfortunate that Romania pulled out, so it was a 2-test tour rather than 3. But like, in fairness, they've qualified for the World Cup. Portugal, they've beaten Fiji. Yeah, as far as I know, they've qualified for the 2027 World Cup, haven't they?
Yeah.
As far as I know, they bet Fiji, they've beaten the USA, they're drawn with Georgia, so they're capable of playing rugby. It just looked on the night they could that, and it just didn't fucking suit them.
Yeah. Let's see. Mike, your thoughts on the Ireland-Portugal game?
Well, it's not all negative for me. I mean, as regards Portugal, they're the worst team I have ever seen Ireland face in any level of rugby. Like, their performance is so substandard. It's not acceptable, lads. Let's be honest. Like the boys have said, they're trying to grow the game. Like, Portugal are trying to become a serious test playing nation, you know, and they're fucking a million miles away from that. They really are. They've gone backwards at a phenomenal rate from the World Cup, but they offered absolutely nothing. Now, Ireland, you couldn't judge. You can judge absolutely nothing on that game, nothing. And some of the guys that played in both of the games, like, put their hands up. I thought Tommy O'Brien looks like a smashing prospect, really smashing prospect. I thought Craig Casey was outstanding in both games. It would be easy to be outstanding against Portugal, but I thought he had a great game against Georgia as well. Hugh Gavin played really well in the centre. He played a 13 against Portugal. Shane Bolton on the left wing took his tries, but it was easy, lads. We're running fucking tries from our own goal line, for God's sake. It was actually embarrassing. In fact, the most bizarre try I've ever seen scored was in that game. Craig Casey took a kick for a fucking 50-22 and then went up going over the goal line, and Shane Bolton ran. He must have been 25 yards behind the fucking Portuguese players.
Yeah.
Like 10 meters out from the line, and fucking beat him to the ball.
Yeah. He didn't even beat him to the ball, Mike. The two boys were actually looking at the ball between them.
Yeah,
nobody decided to go down on the ball and fucking ground it.
Yeah.
And he just nipped in between them. It was just fucking comedy of errors.
Yeah.
But Casey, I thought Casey played really well. I mean, he could have got a second try himself. He scored the try just after half time, and then he gave Keane Pendergast one. It was easy to run over the line himself, but
he did.
Yeah.
Pendergast. But
just
they
going back to sorry,
they were very accurate. Ireland were very in everything they'd done. They were accurate. They were like you couldn't judge it. It's just hard to judge anything because the pack offered nothing either. They really offered absolutely zero. The Portuguese pack. We were, something. You're going to beat what's in front of you, and there wasn't much in front of us.
The only thing that broke the rhythm of that game was that bad injury to the Portuguese 12.
Yeah,
just before half time. Portugal didn't really they offered nothing after that. It really fucking knocked them and it looked like a bad one.
Well, Richie, they didn't offer a lot before that. In all fairness.
No, but anytime they got the ball, they were trying to run with it. They were actually trying to run out of their own area and all that.
But something that is totally unacceptable for that level of rugby is the fact that there was no technology available and there was no TMO available. Like that, that's unacceptable. We're going out there with the best will in the world, to play a professional game, and to be fucking faced with substandard, and like the lads said, you could see fucking people walking around through a car park. You're playing in a fucking. To be fair, there was nobody going to the game by the looks of it. The only supporters that were there were Irish, and there was probably people that are on holidays and whatever, decided to take in the rugby while they're there. Yeah. But it was shambolic. It was absolutely shambolic.
If you look at it from the flip side, and we were looking from our side here in Ireland, who was selected for that tour, and who was going to start, it means something to us who's going to actually start and who's selected.
Absolutely.
As you said, we're taking a very professional approach too, because it's part of the development of those players and into the Irish squad. And then to turn up to opposition that just couldn't give a fucking bollocks. The facilities, the fucking comms, everything. It was just shambles. And if anything, as I said, Portuguese rugby union need to actually have a long, hard look at themselves. Because they certainly didn't cover themselves in glory. And on the back of that, I wouldn't say there's too many other nations will want to send a team over there to play him in a summer series anytime soon.
Who's going to want to play him ever, fucking, unless you have to play him?
Yeah.
There's nobody going to choose. There's no team going to choose to go and fucking play them now.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Now, there's a good comment here by Bevan. It says, it seems like at the next World Cup, Portugal will be 24th at this rate, which means it's the lowest ranked team in going into that World Cup, as things stand after the Ireland game.
That's they'll be lower than Namibia, Namibia have never won a game in the World Cup. They'll be even going in lower than them,
Yeah, because if there's 24 teams and they're going to be ranked 24th, that's kind of saying something around that,
But that means you're going to be in the pool with the likes of, we'll say, Argentina and Australia. You'll be in one of them pools.
Yeah, and
so there's going to be 24 teams in the next World Cup.
Yeah,
I think they're losing the run of themselves. How many was in the last one? 20.
20. Yeah, 4 groups.
Let's be honest. If you're going to have teams like Portugal playing fucking South Africa or playing New Zealand or playing Ireland again, and that's the kind of scoreline you're going to. We had scorelines like that 20 years ago on the World Cup, or longer than 20 years ago. We used to have scorelines like that with the lower ranked teams. Just to get absolutely hockeyed off the fucking pitch. And that's. I mean, if we went out with a fully loaded squad. Being honest, if we had a full team there Saturday, we wouldn't have scored any more points. You couldn't fucking physically score any more points in a game than that.
Not enough time. Yeah, you're probably right, Mike.
So, from that aspect, it's good to see these young lads. They're now international cap players, and you know what? They scored a few tries. It'll stand them in good stead. Tommy O'Brien has got 4 tries in 2 matches. So, it's from that aspect. I don't think it'll do him any harm. And nobody got injured, which is a great
thing. So yeah. Question for you, lads. Start with you, Mike. Do you think an AIL squad would have actually done better against Portugal on Saturday?
They'd have beaten them. Absolutely no question about it.
Would it have been a more even competition?
Oh, absolutely. It fucking. I mean, I've watched Nina Ormond play this year. They won the AIL Division 1B, and they'd have beaten fucking Portugal. They beat them. I would say.
Len, do you think the AIL squad would have actually beaten that Portuguese side? If
Sorry?
Down to Len, Bishop Brennan.
Yeah, go
Do you
on.
think that if the Irish you had said that the AIL squad over, do you think that they would have beaten Portugal in that game?
Look, that whole thing was just so fucking piss poor. I think any of the AIL squads would have given them a game, and I don't think there's very few of the AIL squads would have actually been beaten. So I do. There just seemed to be no. There seemed to be no setup, and there seemed to be no tactics. Just seemed to be like, here, fucking try out, 23 lads, whoever's available, throw them out there. Seemed to be no coaching, seemed to be nothing. And like, I don't know, it's coming to a head from what I'm reading here. It seems to be coming to a head with Sam Mannix and So I don't know. Maybe
there was a fellow walking down the street and just handing him a pair of boots and a jersey. Says, "Here, go ahead."
It was in the old days.
After a feed of spud points, here. I'm a winner. I'll go in there, fucking tight head. Off you go. You'll be grand.
Yeah.
Richard, do you think an AIL squad would have beaten that Portuguese side on Saturday?
Yeah, even we'll take the new Ross Rugby would have given him a game.
Yeah,
that kind of way. It's even you're talking down Leinster League, that kind of way. But and it might have been an idea to bring an AIL representative squad out there and see what happens.
Maybe Joe, if you got to some of the best players from the AIL,
that's not going to sell. You're not going to sell that. If they couldn't sell the fucking Irish and Ireland fully low, it's not the Irish full team. If the fucking Portuguese rugby couldn't fucking sell that, what chance have they got taking out a fucking AIL team?
But that was my point, Mike. You know what I mean? The Georgians took it seriously.
Oh, they did. I did, and fair play to Georgia.
Georgians, you know what I mean? They took it seriously.
And they're desperate to get into the Six Nations or whatever.
They are. Yeah. And like the Portuguese, well, okay, like somebody made the thing that soccer is their, their first love. Everything is soccer over in Portugal. That's fucking hardly the Irish team's fault. You know what I mean?
That's neither fucking here nor there.
Yeah, exactly. You choose to play fucking rugby. You have a national team. Fucking prepare them and do the fucking best. Sell the fucking tickets and promote the thing. Go away.
Rugby is what, third or fourth here?
Yeah, it's third fourth.
Behind.
Then you could have sent out. You could have sent the Kerry fucking football team out there and they'd have beaten them on the fucking rugby pitch.
There probably is a case for nations like Portugal to get a combined sort of the academies and a few AL players and have, like, you don't promote it the same, but have fucking matches down there with these nations that are only developing. That's probably not a bad idea. But like, it's just a waste of fucking time from an Irish point of view, to be quite honest with you. Which is, it's not fair on the lads that went down there. Look, I'm sure they came away and they had a ball celebrating all the records. They
probably had listen, it's not the worst. It's not the worst place you could go, like, to fucking for a holiday, is it? If that's all it turned out to be.
Absolutely not. And then to end the season.
They probably had the fucking golf clubs over there with them as well. So they might have got a couple of rounds in while they were there.
Bev in here said, I think the largest ever scoreline I read was 194-0. Let's hope that doesn't get broken.
I think New Zealand and American Samoa or someone like that. One of them.
Something like that, yeah. That's a huge fucking score in it. Neil McKeown in here with two comments. He said, Portugal are 18th. Hong Kong have qualified and are 23rd in the current rankings. Either Namibia or Zimbabwe will qualify on Saturday, and they are ranked 25th and 26th.
Yeah, it's done. There are certain qualifications done regional, so there's a certain amount have to come out of Africa. A certain amount have to come out of Pacific Asia.
Lads, if they're ranked 18th,
Neil is the man.
That's very concerning, lads. That's very concerning for me. If Portugal are ranked 18th in the world and we're going into a World Cup with 24 fucking teams, I'm concerned. I'm concerned now, by the way. I'm thinking this is becoming a nonsense if that's the case. Yeah. Because if you're going to have teams, fucking 6 teams worse than fucking Portugal are,
Yeah.
Where are we going to go?
How bad are they going to be?
Fuck me, man. Sorry, but
That's
someone needs to have a
what.
serious look at this.
Yeah, that's another conversation for another night. I'm afraid that's. But Peter was saying here, it says he was Cyprus against someone from the highest ever, high score ever, I suppose. In that one anyway. That's, I suppose, we're at the hour mark. Unfortunately for Matt and Dara, they didn't cover any of the GA results. That's, I know, it'd be hugely disappointed.
And it'll be gutted, Danny. For fuck's
Oh, I
sake.
know.
It could
Sorry,
have
lads,
been a
sorry we
game.
never got on to that.
Yeah, we got you a separate
Peter
video on that
Burke
now, just for them, you know. But
And
lads,
if
we'll
anybody
call
out there
Typing
can
that
get
hard,
me a
though,
ticket for fucking
the
Croke Park
keyboard
on
is gonna go on
Sunday, on
fire.
this coming Sunday, I'll be very, very grateful.
Sorry, what you say there, Richard?
Peter Burke now, he'd be typing that fast that the keyboard is going to catch fire. Fucking bastards.
Fuck's sake. So, I tell you what, before he gets his comment in, anyway, let's see, when do the rules of the World Cup draw? I said the early 2027 is that? Or is it
Yeah,
2026?
27 the World Cup is so it'll be
Yeah,
probably it'll be 26 or late 26.
See, Matt Bowen, Bev N is right. 194 to nil. Club side international is different. Yeah. That's before Peter.
I can remember games. I can remember games in the World Cup more than 106 points being scored, 120. I can remember
Yeah.
New Zealand scoring 120
In
or
the World Cup,
124
can you?
points.
the guys
It
from
might have even been against Namibia or something like
Nibik in December 2025, I suppose that's for the World Cup draw date. Yeah, I think that's for the World Cup draw date. Anyway, lads, we will call it tonight on Matt's comment here, yelling at us, calling us pricks. So,
Oh
Richard
my
Hall,
God.
you prick. Len Brennan, you prick. Mike Reedy, you prick. This is Danny Boston. I'm a prick. Good night, all. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next Monday, take care.